Well, here there's Mr. Dogger. Here we are walking through my big mess. It rained a bunch the other day, and it won't switch there. Okay, that's all right. Hey, it's me, Hawkeye. We're going down into the woods, and I cleaned some of this out the other day. It's a mess down there, so please don't judge me. But I have made some messes in that time. But when we came down, went across the bridge yesterday, just up from the house here, I noticed that there was like floodwaters. Not just that the river was up, but there was floodwaters. So now we're walking down to here in the backwoods, and I'm using my cell phone camera thing to see how it works out. But this is there's my mess right there. And right through there is my house right there that looks out over the woods. But so when I say that the woods is literally right behind my house, I ain't joking. When I say the swamp is right behind the house, I ain't joking. Not that I think people are, no. Now, where I'm at now, standing downhill I've been steadily coming downhill, and this is where we kind of get sort of towards the bottom of this hill. But where I'm walking and everything now has been flooded before. I'd be ankle deep, or at least through here. So from where I'm standing in this tree here, the swamp has been in a bad flood stage this close to my stuff. Now it's still a long way. It's still a 1.5 to 2 foot rise all the way across, but I wanted to show you, because right now, as I'm walking through here, I gotta say that at the moment, this cell phone camera is better than carrying my other camera because it's so big and bulky. But let me chase Duggar down. So you can see the sun going down to them woods there. Oh, wait, I can zoom. Let me see how I can do this. Oh, yeah. See, there's water right there. And running across the property, where my finger at? Running across the property that way. Ooh, that's interesting. How'd that go back out? Okay. Sorry, I'm just learning how to use this thing. But in the high winds and stuff, we've got, trees down across there. I used to be able to drive through here. And but I've had a small chainsaw that didn't do too much. You can see Duggar back over there, and he's over where I've talked about in some of my videos about the clearing in the back of the house where the portal is, and it's over there. And my neighbor kind of agrees. Maybe not exactly, but really close to the same spot. We talked about it one day, and he was like, woo. So whether or not he's into the woo-woo stuff, follows it and all that kind of stuff, he understands stuff like I do, and that many of us do. So water was flowing right through here from that way over there, because the river, it comes from that direction and flows across the property to the south, almost exactly north to south. And so this is the first spot. Sun going down. I'm in a short sleeve shirt, got my little hat on kind of thing. But I realized, I was like, the water goes down quick here in the backyard. So it'll only be high for a day or so. Now the river will be up and out of its banks a little bit, but this is the result of the river being out of the banks. And my neighbor's property and mine come together over here. And there's a creek that runs through his property, and literally right by his house. He built his little house right beside the creek. But then it meanders on my property down through here, and way off in the distance there's a let's see if this will zoom at all. There's a white object off in the distance there, but the creek goes that way, kind of thing. And Duggar's off running around. I didn't really come down here to get all and wet and gooey. I just threw my shoes on, waved to Duggar to see if he wanted to come down here to the woods. And this is where it's really gushy, but you can still, you know, walk on the high spots and get by. Duggar's over there. What you doing, boy? So I'm trying to teach him in the woods to not run off far. I'm picking my way through some of these places here and trying not to get too gushy. Looks like something been walking through here. And then over this direction, I'm walking around the bottoms, walking around towards the bottoms of the tree, the butt of the tree, you know, the high spot. So walk along the edges of those, and that was a close one there. I used to have a bridge across right over there, and that when it was like this, didn't have to try to wade through the low spots or whatever. And but over the years, things have happened. The floods happened. I got older and not quite as able. So right now I'm trying to pick my way through this little spot here. And I walked over here for a couple of reasons, but one of them was to we literally from over there and down across here, there's sort of like a little trail that goes right through the woods, and it goes across where there's a tree down and out towards where that white thing is back there. And when the river's up, we had this cleaned out so that I could literally would put my canoe here and take the canoe all the way down to the river, which is a ways from here. But and there's one of my markers. See, and there's a marker back over there, an orange marker. This is the marker. There's one down there of where, when the water was up, we knew where we were, because everything looks different when the water's up. But so I talked to people about right behind my house, and this is a good time to show it. You can see where the water level is, and then if we pan to the right, which is to the west, there's a ridge of property here. There's this ridge of property, and I'm fixing to show you. We're going to walk over there. Let's see. This is, oops, sorry. This area around here where we're walking, where I'm walking, you're watching, you can tell that it's wet down here, and I think you can tell the elevation change. And right where I'm walking right here is a lot of critters walk along this way. But oh, and there's Duggar. Hey, Doug. Whoops. But I've been calling it Days Creek for years. It comes in over there from the neighbor's property and gathers right here in this place. And let me zoom this in a little bit. Oh, wait, the other way. You can follow this water down. And then where the white thing is, where is it? Where's that white thing back there? Oh, it's back there behind that tree. But it's almost like a little pond right there. And go the other way. It's almost like a little pond right in there. But the water that comes from across the property line splits here. and it goes this way across my property. There's the sun going down, and it also, when it's high enough, and so this ridge that I'm standing on right now becomes an island, and this is the brunt of it. So the water will go first that way, and then it comes this way across the property. So, you know, it's almost like I'm standing at the bow of a ship, because this is where the water comes in this way and splits over there and then splits this way. Anyway, enough of that. But when I make reference to certain things, you know, I was back over on the first ridge and blah, 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 blah. So for those of you who watch this, and I refer to it later on, at least you can say, oh, he's on that spot. Might not remember exactly, but on there. And we got kitty cats chasing us. What's up, kitty cats? Whoa, 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 whoa. Let me see here. How do you do this again? See the kitty cats? I can't believe they're following us. They follow us up the hill all the time. You know, kitty cats in the swamp, you know, and we'll take a walk up the hill to the driveway and go check the mail and all. But it's the first time I've ever seen them, you know, be chasing, well, they ain't chasing us, but they following us in the woods, so that's interesting. And what I was going to say was, all these pine needles and everything. Oh, look, there's animal poo. And there's an animal trail that leads that away. So, and that's a fresh one too. So within the last 24 hours or less. And there are some people who just don't see it, but there's a pathway running through there that goes up this direction and towards that tree over there, where everything else is just, you know, when you walk by, you can see these little trails that scoot around. And proof of it, because there's some droppings right back there. So one of the things I learned about years ago was, you know, there was a time when people would say, you need to avoid the animal trails. And so, you know, you don't scare them away. And I would go out of my way to not walk where the animals walked. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Then revelation hit me quite a few years ago. But the revelation was fairly simple in that one way, what you should do is walk on the same animal trails all the time. Not avoid them, but to walk on them. And the reason is because if the animals use them and they get used to your scent, then I really need to get the weed eater out here. And this really needs burned again. But I'm walking across this ridge that comes from the north. I know that was down to here. And there's it breaks in a little bit right here, and then the ridge goes over to the property line and then kind of around this way. And this is a really good time of the year to see it because of you know, all the leaves are off the bushes and the trees. But see, of all the places, like right through here, I'm looking and around, but you can notice there's a trail right through there. And this is the old path that I've been walking. I'll show you when we get up here. You can tell that the water was right here where I'm standing, like just a little bit ago, because it's really soggy and wet. You can tell by the color of the leaves and how damp and dank it is. But the concrete block are the remnants over there and all the way over there. This was, and I'm going to reclaim it. There's boards over here that have got washed downstream from the floods, but I used to have a bridge across here, so I didn't have to worry about about the stream. And a good toss of haul across it. And just on the other side over there is another smaller ridge where some pine trees are over there. And that's what I want to open up this bridge again in this area to get further down the river. You could see all the trees and stuff that were down, and it was worse than that from the hurricane. So got a chainsaw, talked to some folks, and they want to help out too. And even if they don't, I got to fix it, you know. But anyway, let's see. Where's a good place to like stand? Oops, sorry about that. My apologies. Trying to get a handhold and a foothold. I'm walking across the old concrete blocks that I put here before, and you know, it was a walkable bridge, and we had a oops, dang, don't drop it in. See where that green rope is right there on that tree is where I had a handrail tied to these trees, and the remnants of the footbridge is still right there. So I need to reclaim all this, cut the trees out and everything, and get it back to where we can get through here. But let's see, whoops. Well, you can see how fast the stream is flowing over there. And when the water was up yesterday, it was twice as fast coming through here. So we pick up a lot of debris from upstream, and it flows across the property like that 5-gallon bucket. Don't know where it come from. And so, and there it goes through the trees. Let's see. There it goes through the trees. So all that out yonder is underwater at the moment from this last bit of rain we had. And you can see where all the debris and stuff washes up, but there's not much plastic or anything in here. Usually there's aluminum cans and stuff spread all around through here that's overflowed from the river and gets caught in the woods. And a lot of other people's junk has ended up in my backyard simply because they're upstream, you know. And it flooded and it gets dropped here. Like this bucket over here. I didn't bring that bucket down here, it floated here. I just put it up on higher dry land. So where I'm standing right now, normally the floodwaters will come up to about where this tree is here and stay that way. Where this ridge, let's see, wait. Where the ridge where I'm standing now starts going uphill this direction, you know, it's probably 6-8 inches difference where their pine tree is to where I'm standing right now. So this will flood to this bucket, but there'll still be this ridge up here where the pine trees are. Let's see how much. 18 minutes and 26 seconds. See, here's a board that was part of my bridge. Oops. Some 4x4s and stuff that I had down here that is washed up and been replaced and moved. And oh, by the way, now see that mushroom? It's been snuggled under kind of thing. Somebody been in here and sniffed there and pushed those pine needles that away. That ain't natural. And I didn't do it because I didn't come by here. And if I did, I would have come from this direction to have pushed the pine needles the way it is. So that shows critter activity, okay? And you can tell because there's a little critter trail, which is part of the original trail because there's a steel post there from an old bed frame and an aluminum can on top of it that marks certain pieces of territory. But here you can see why, because it's been trampled. Critters have been around this tree over here on this side, but not so much on this side because this side's drier. It's been trampled more. But anyway, so there's a trampled area right through here, and it wiggles over there, where this spot right here is untouched. And you say, what? There's not much of a difference. But Duggar will, follow these little trails. How you doing, Brother Doug? I'm going to go to the south end, staying on the ridge, because I haven't been over here in a little bit. And since I'm down here and we videotaping, and I'm showing you what the property's like. So now there are some tracks in the ground, deeper in the ground. Now I know, because I've been here before, that deer come through here. And so one of the things I wanted to look for was a big deer rub earlier this year that was right through here. And the rut season, all that's pretty much over and all, or is over, but walking through here was where a lot of them critters, I'm trying to find that tree that where that deer done rubbed its, almost in half. That's interesting. I don't see it at the moment, but anyway, so as I'm looking to the southwest, this ridge runs right along up here. Well, I'm trying to pick a spot to get through. I'm picking ticks off a Duggar, and I was thinking earlier, next time I go to the woods, I need to put on some tick spray kind of thing. And what did I do? I just come running out here and not even thought about it, and didn't put no tick spray on. Now, deer have been here, and you say, how do you know? Because of that rub right there. All right, and this has been a favorite spot over the years for the deer to rub the fur off of their antlers. And this ain't the one that was all tore up so bad, but that's what a deer rub looks like compared to its brother and cousin over here. And there's a couple other ones in this area, these little trees. But that one over there has been rubbed, and this one has. So, oh, and look. The cat's made it through the wet spot and have followed him. Hey, Kitty Woods. Hey, Kitty Woods. So, there's palmetto in certain places. Palmetto don't like to grow any further down the hill. It's too wet. So you can tell by certain trees and by the palmettos and stuff like that. I'm looking for that. I'm still looking for that other rub. But anyway, so you can tell that that's been rubbed, and it looks like this has been, this tree here has been rubbed by a deer with their antlers. It itches them to death and they just go nuts. And some trees or whatever work better than others. But so now I walked down, I've been talking about this ridge. I've walked down the ridge from here, and if you look to the left over here, you can see where there's a bunch of water. And so the stream, Dave's Creek, when it's high, I keep thinking that other deer rub is right near me, but I don't see it. It's okay. But I'm picking my way through here. That gets a little boggy. Well, it looks like there's a step up over there. Well, anyway, let's walk this way. Hey, kitty cats. Hey, kitty whoops. So the forest is dense up to a point, in that right now all the little bushes and stuff have lost their leaves, and it's fairly easy walking through here. But in springtime, this stuff will bud out, and you won't be able to see very far through these woods or not. It gets thick quick. It's amazing. In a couple of days, it's like, whoa, what happened to the woods? But this time of year, you can see, under the circumstances, great distances compared to the springtime. So, but anyway, now all this stuff is floated up from where and whenever. But to try to give a slight explanation. Now see, you can tell that something's been through here, right to this weir, and you can tell because there's weir right into the water there. Now it looks like a smaller critter, but so you can see on the other side where them critters kept going. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in on that a little bit. Where, yeah, right through there. Where's my finger at? Yeah, right through there. And I walked it before, so I kind of know about that too. But the water's coming all the way up through here and is spread out because it's lower here. Back over that direction, there's not as many high spots like I'm standing on. And so the water flows all the way across the property and meanders around and comes out over here. So, and you can see how much higher from where I'm standing, how much higher the trees are. You know, Paul, there's, you know, pine needles and everything. The pine needles over here are all washed up together. So, and here's the other trick. There aren't near as many pine trees through this swampy area because they really don't like, pine trees really don't like standing in the water. So let me wiggle through here and up this side. It's getting dark on the camera. It's still pretty light outside, but I just noticed something else that was laying over here. Something else that's washed up. A plastic container with a hole in it. But so anyway, I'm gonna break out over here to the property line and show you what it looks like. But see, I can tell by the way the pine needles are laying, but they're